The Scotland Prime Minister is against the new rules here in the UK. Do not forget that UK is made up of England, Scotland, Northern Ireland and Wales. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer never said this until after Nigel Farage won 10 local in the election. Then boom, the UK Prime Minister. Hi beautiful people, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. If today is your first time here, my name is Stella. On this channel I talk about my life here in the UK, what is happening around me, and I share information. On this channel I also do reaction videos, so if this content sounds like what you will be interested in, please do not forget to like, subscribe and share my videos. Click on that notification bell to get notified whenever I post any new video. Well, in today's video guys, I'm going to be addressing what is currently happening in the UK, and currently, Scotland Prime Minister is against all of this. Why is Keir Starmer saying all of this after Nigel Farage won the 10 local election? You all know that Nigel Farage is a very tough one. That man, anything that has to do with immigration, count him in. So at this point, I don't know if Keir Starmer is trying to prove a point. Anyway, watch this video and listen to what the Scotland Prime Minister had to say about all of this.
Have opened the door to Farage because they have failed to stand up to him. Dancing to Farage's tune on immigration, too scared to admit that Brexit has been a disaster, alienating communities in England by maintaining Tory austerity cuts. That's what you get with Labour. At Westminster, Nigel Farage may not be in office, but he's very much in power. You don't beat populists by imitating them. You beat them by confronting them. We will never do any deals with Farage. Only the SNP will confront Farage and defeat Farage.
So now let's talk about the major update. The UK government published a white paper where, number one, they talked about raising threshold for skilled worker visa. Do not forget that they've already increased threshold for health and care worker visas to £25,000. They increased it this year, and also this same year they've decided, they are still debating on that they want to stop overseas recruitment. They are currently debating on that so that they will just focus on people already in the UK. And that is why I say this somehow is a good news for people already in the UK, because take it or leave it, there are some persons here in the UK that are still struggling to get a job with visa sponsorship. They might be getting shift, but they want that sponsorship. So if they stop, recruiting from overseas, it will give those people already in the UK, better chances of getting this job with visa sponsorship. And with this change, the Scotland Prime Minister are complaining that this will affect the healthcare sector. They believe that stopping international recruitment will affect the healthcare sector. This is what it says on this article. It says, Scotland Deputy First Minister said she is no doubt that the country care system will suffer from the government plan to tightening immigration rules. Kate says Scotland needs to take a distinct approach to the rest of the UK. It came as care home bosses claimed the immigration plan could lead to closure and longer NHS waiting list. Prime Minister Keir Starmer said his proposal will take back control of the UK borders. As part of the new strategy, the Labour administration is aiming to cut the recruitment of care workers from overseas and tightening English language requirement for immigration. You guys can hear what Keir Starmer is saying here. He says he's trying to take border control. From this, you realize that Scotland are not buying these new plans. It's not yet implemented. It's a plan. And the next on my list is the study. It says, we will strengthen the requirement that all sponsoring institutions must meet in order to recruit international students. We will introduce new immigration for sponsors who are close to failing their sponsor duty, including placing them on a option plan designed to improve their compliance and imposing limits on the number of new international students they can recruit while they are subject to those plans. We will reduce the ability for graduates to remain in the UK after their study to a period of 18 months. So this 2 years post-study visa, they want to reduce it. And for this, the UK Educational Welfare are also against this. They said that if they impose this, that it will affect people wanting to come to the UK. It will make UK no longer attractive for international students. So they're also debating on that. And the next is family. It says, we will tackle the over-complex family and private life immigration arrangement, where too many cases are treated as exceptional rather than having a clear framework. Legislation will be brought forward to make clear it is the government and parliament that decide who should have the right to remain in the UK. This addresses case where Article 8 rights to family life legal arguments are being used to frustrate deportation, where removal is clearly in the public interest. With this, they are just trying to make dependent difficult, and currently it's already even difficult. As a healthcare worker from overseas, they've stopped overseas. You can no longer bring your dependent. If you're studying a master's, you can no longer bring the dependent. You cannot bring your family. So for me, I think it has already been in place long time ago, because before you can bring your dependent, your family, you must earn a certain amount of money. So for me, it has been in place long time ago. The next is tackling abuse. New policy will apply to individuals who claim asylum where conditions in their home country have not materially changed, particularly where they have claimed asylum after arrival. Tightening visa control restriction require or scrutiny will be applied where we have evidence of abuse based on a clear assessment of the risks. Measure to ensure that other government plan their part in supporting the integrity of the UK immigration system, particularly where there are currently barriers in the way of us returning their nationals. Innovation, financial measure, penalties or sanctions, including for sponsors of migrant worker or students where there is evidence of abuse. This will incentivize them to act responsibly with the new measure to support compliances with the visa condition by migrants. To be honest, it's somehow you just land in a country, the next thing is to seek asylum. I think, to be honest, somehow it's not fair for the country, because you might be coming to work, before you know it, asylum. Like, there's an article, like, I've not done a video on that said over how many thousand people seek asylum. And anyway, who am I to judge? Everybody have their own reason for seeking asylum, but somehow the asylum is not even that wow. So many restriction when you seek asylum. So if you're planning to seek asylum, it's important to know some of this restriction. So sometimes it's not as as wow as you think. And the next, it says foreign national offenders, FNO. Reform the deportation system to ensure that Home Office is informed of all foreign national convicted of offense, not just those who go to prison. Review deportation threshold to take into account a wide range of factors than just the length of sentence, and state by reversing the statutory exception criteria to ensure that the deportation test reflect the seriousness of violence against women and girls. So for those, I think some of you must have seen the video. There's another current video of a guy that was caught chatting a girl on an app. I beg, if you're an immigrant, be careful. Most of these people, when they go to prison, they still deport them. So with these new rules, any conviction of offense, 50-50, you might be deported. The next, it says English language. Introducing new English language requirement across border range of immigration routes for both main applicant and their dependents to ensure that better knowledge of English, including an assessment of improvement, are over time. If you're coming to the UK, your dependents must take the English test. For example, if your husband or wife gets a job in the UK that can allow you to come with your dependent, your wife will also need to take the English test in order to be able to come to the UK. This is tough, to be honest. And the next is aim settlement and citizenship. This one is something else. It says double the standard qualification period, settlement to 10 years. If you're in the UK on health and care worker visa, after 5 years, you get your indefinite leave to remain. But currently, the UK wants to change it to 10 years. That is what it simply means on this article. It says expand the point-based system to both settlement and citizenship rules, so they are based on contribution to the UK. Expand the point-based system to both settlement and citizenship rules, so they are based on contribution to the UK, with further details to be set out to the Parliament by the end of the year. The policy outline the part of government plan to change will be delivered over the course of the Parliament to strengthen UK's immigration system. The first change is said to be introduced in this coming week. So with the new plan, it depends on how you contribute to the UK. This is tough, honestly. With what is happening, I don't think people want to come to the UK anymore. And at the same time, I think they've achieved their aim. If this plan goes successful, And let's see what happens with the Scotland Prime Minister if they'll opt out. But let's see how it goes. Maybe Scotland will be the new destination for immigrants. But whatever happens, we'll still hear it. I just feel the need to share this with you guys. If you find this video informative and interesting to watch, do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, like, subscribe, and share. And feel free to leave me a comment on any type of video you'd like me to make, and I'll try my best and get back to you guys. I'll see you guys in my next post. Bye, guys.